Joe Foner.
And I'm Paul Hood.
And we are
Foner and Hood.
And I'm Sammi Leigh Melville, and we're here at the Midtown Cinema to discuss Whiplash, a film starring Miles Teller as Andrew Neiman and J.K. Simmons as Terrence Fletcher. Basically, it's about an aspiring drummer and his drill sergeant conductor. Andrew desperately wants to be the next Charlie Parker, and Fletcher is looking for the next Charlie Parker. And they kind of come to a head, caught up in a power play framed by this world of competitive jazz that they're in. It's really intense, and it's really good, and we'll see what you guys think about it.
The really cool thing about Whiplash is the way the intensity slowly develops throughout the film. You have this kid who's like, he feels kind of belittled by accomplishments of other people in the family. He feels like kind of a shuck rock, and he wants to be the best jazz drummer in the world. And J.K. Simmons is preying on that. He wants the next Charlie Parker. And what's neat about J.K. Simmons' character, he's trying to push Miles Teller's character, Andrew Neiman, to be the best that he can be. And but there's a line there. There's a line between pushing somebody and just being, completely mean-spirited. And so what's really cool is that you have this conflict throughout the whole film, and it develops to this really satisfying crescendo at the end of it. And so that's what makes it a really, really satisfying film. I would give it a 4 stars.
One of the things I really liked with Whiplash was the psychological aspect of the film. I thought the battle of wills between the two main characters was something that was really, presented really strongly. The one drawback that the film has is they bring in a female character who's supposed to be like an emotional marker for Andrew Neiman, and she kind of gets lost in the story, and he becomes almost less likable because he gets swallowed up. He decides to do the thing, the typical thing that the artists do, and focus more on their art, and then kind of push everything else out of their lives. And I thought they needed to display that longer, build that relationship longer, to hold that in the film. But so because of that, I'll give the film about four stars.
So I thought it was interesting what you were talking about with the emotional relationship between Andrew and his girlfriend. I just wanted to know if you wanted to expound on that at all.
Yeah, sure. That was one of the first things I thought about. The idea that there's all these sacrifices that Andrew has to make in order to be the best. Like a physical example, where he's like, pounding the drums into submission with what he hands. Is this like an emotional example, or is it superfluous? Is it really needed? The relationship that he also has to go, because it's never really fully fleshed out.
Yeah, I think it was necessary to have the relationship kind of build and grow stronger, and then kind of like dissolve as he got more focused on his dream of being a great jazz drummer. I just felt like it got lost somewhere in there, and it was cut off too short. So you kind of get this half-hearted attempt at, let's humanize him and make him show his softer side, because in actuality he becomes almost an antagonist character toward the middle of the film, I think. And as he starts to become more focused on his on becoming a great jazz drummer and a legend.
That's an interesting point, because we have that same dichotomy with J.K. Simmons' character, where he's got this public face where you see him like being nice to a small child. Then as soon as he's in the room with his band, he's like a total jerk. And so both of these characters have that dichotomy. It's like a character study in the classic sense. And
that's the balance in this film that works. They show both sides of, the psychology of, intense focus, and then the softer side of like the more human side.
There are moments in the film where the softer sides, you see them kind of come together, and it's nice, and then it's right back to the harder sides fighting.
Yeah.
So.
You've been watching Foner and Hood's review of Whiplash.
And stay tuned at the end to see where you can find us.
And make sure you check out the film, which is now playing at Midtown Cinema.
I'm Joe Foner,
And I'm Paul Hood.
and we are
Foner
Foner Hood, and we're
And
out.
we're out.